അടുത്തതായി US Weekly Roundup powered by PSG Group of Companies il Varghese.
Hello everyone. Today we have Mr. Tom Kmiec, the Member of Parliament for the Calgary Shepherd, Shadow Minister for the Canada Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship, with us here to share his thoughts on Canadian immigration system. Hi sir. Could you please share your thoughts on the recent delays of the parent-grandparent visa, and we haven't quite actually seen the parent-grandparent visa opening as often as it should. Could you please share your thoughts on that?
So first of all, like the parents and grandparents visas and all the delays that people are having, that's a program that's been chronically delayed for basically since 2015. One of the biggest sources of delays is administrative decisions being made by the Liberal government. They had no backlog in 2015. The backlog went up to about 2.1 million applications before the pandemic. Because of the pandemic, it went up to 2.9 million applications, and now it's come down to still about 2.1 million applications. So we're back at the point of before the pandemic. The pandemic started March 2020. It's now been 3 years, and the government still can't resolve it. When you look at the government spending on the immigration department, it has doubled since 2015. They have doubled the staff since 2015 as well. Parliament has given them twice as much money, twice as many people, and they still get the same bad results. So if you want to change and speed up the applications for parents and grandparents, well, first thing you got to do is you got to change the government in charge, because they've been making all these decisions that have been delaying everything. So that's first of all. Second of all, there's a lottery system in place right now, which for some people have told me, they really like it. I personally don't believe this is the right way to go. I think the Conservatives had a much better way of doing it, which is every few months they would open up the applications. You could apply. They would only process those applications, and then they would close the application stream, wait another month, and they would reopen it again and take the next batch. So it wasn't so much that it was a lottery. You had, you didn't know whether you're going to get in or not, because so many people are applying. Everybody got a chance a few times a year to apply, and so it was much more equal, much fairer to people. If you missed the deadline, if you were busy working, or if you weren't able to refresh your browser fast enough, you still got a chance later in the year to apply. And the number of spots is also, I know, a source of contention for people. But overall, we have to look at what is our capacity to pay for everybody's healthcare, the education, and everything else. So reuniting is very important. And I have the stat as well for parents and grandparents for the family class. Back in 2019, it used to take 19 months to process. Today, it takes 39 months to process those same applications. The reason people are waiting so long, even if they're successful at getting through the lottery, it's almost 4 years you have to wait. If you have young kids, like a 2, 3, 4-year-old boy, that boy's going to be 8 years old by the time you're able to get your grandparents in to watch them. Like, does an 8-year-old need to be watched as much as a 4-year-old? I have kids. I know that's not the case. But the reason it's getting worse and worse is because the immigration backlog created entirely by the Liberal government.
With the recent backlog in the immigration processing and the application processing, what we have recently seen is that most of the skilled workers have been taking the route of becoming a student, an international student here, coming here as an international student, then taking the path towards permanent residency and achieving their Canadian dreams. This has in fact increased their timeline from 2 years to 5 years, and also they are in fact spending more than hundreds of thousands of Indian rupees or any other foreign currency for that matter for this Canadian dream. What are your thoughts on this?
Fundamentally, you have a lot of people who are, even you're in your 20s and your 30s, and this was not too long ago for me, so I'm just speaking from experience here. These are the years when you're, trying to find a spouse to marry, you're trying to start a family, purchase a home of some sort, you're trying to establish yourself in your career. Now, if I tell you then your application for a federal skilled worker program is going to take, I can get you the exact number, because it's incredibly long, because back in 2019, it didn't take as much time as it does today. So federal skilled worker program, skilled trades was 12 months in 2019. It's 73 months right now. So we went from 12 months to 73 months. So this is the problem. We're telling people it's going to take you 5 to 6 years on average to have your application processed. So if you're 25 and you're a master electrician, the better path is for you to come here and study, because it's going to be shorter potentially than waiting patiently in your country of origin for the federal government to get its act together to process your application. You're in your early 30s by then, and then you might have missed the chance to, marry, to start a family, or if you have a family, you have to add them to your application, which complicates your application, because then you're amending it as you've already processed it. So all of these problems, all of these choices that these applicants are making goes back to the Liberal-made backlog. If there wasn't a backlog, if I could guarantee you, listen, within 12 months, we will give you an answer, a yes or a no, then you could plan your life. Then you could decide, is it worth my time to give up the best years of my life when I could work hardest to then come to Canada, to then give them up and maybe become an international student and pay incredible amounts of money for 3 years because they might have a better chance of becoming a permanent resident. And frankly, I don't want you just to become a permanent resident. I want you to become a citizen. I want you to actually take the exam, take the test, take the oath of citizenship, and become equal to me, an equal citizen in Canada. And we know that the rates of citizenship are dropping. Most permanent residents don't become citizens anymore because they don't feel that they can get the same Canadian dream that they've been sold when they come here. And all of that has changed since 2015, since when the Liberal government took over. It's the choices that the Liberals have made since 2015 that have made Canadian citizenship less attractive and have made a lot of people choose the path of becoming an international student instead of waiting in these different programs because they're taking such a long time to process. So then people are paying $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 per year for international tuition at a college or a post-secondary. Sometimes they're getting an extra master's degree when they already have a master's degree because we won't recognize their master's degree from a university overseas. Like, these things are like the bad choices being imposed by them because bad administration of the immigration system by the Liberal government.
How would you address the challenges that are faced by the internationally trained medical professionals who have come into Canada and are unable to practice their profession here? In fact, they have been driven to take up survival jobs. What are your thoughts on this?
So this is what's always confounded me. I think it's absolutely nuts that we have 20,000 internationally trained doctors in Canada who can't practice their profession. We have 32,000 nurses in Canada who are internationally trained. Some of them are even Canadian citizens who went overseas to the Caribbean at these excellent nursing colleges who got educated there. They come back and they're getting extremely long licensing processing times at these provincial colleges, what my leader loves to call it, the gatekeepers of the medical profession. So Conservatives have a plan. It's called the Blue Seal program. We're not reinventing the wheel. It's nothing new. There's a Red Seal program right now for skilled trades, so electricians, all of those in the skilled trades, especially in construction. We already have a model. We want to basically repeat the model and guarantee people within 60 days an answer from their licensing college. So we're going to work with the provinces. We're going to work with the colleges to expedite the process and create a Blue Seal program. We're going to focus on nurses and doctors first. Like, my doctor, my family doctor, is from Nigeria, Flora Ladi. She is a terrific doctor. She's exactly trained like everybody else. I have Hong Kongers who have told me that a Hong Kong nurse today, when she leaves Hong Kong, it's usually just she leaves Hong Kong, goes to the United Kingdom. It's a test that she can take in Hong Kong. She can practice the day after she lands in an NHS hospital. Why can't we have that system? Why can't we have a very similar system to the United Kingdom where we have, a centrally managed, centrally paid for public healthcare system in every single province. It can be that simple. This is not complicated. All Canadians agree. It doesn't matter where they're from. They all agree. They need doctors. We need nurses in our hospitals. So let's make it simple. Create a Blue Seal program. Guarantee within 60 days an answer. Make them take a test that proves their competencies, because that's what we should be aiming for. Are you competent enough to practice as a doctor? And if you're a specialist and you need extra training in Canada, offer that type of extra training in Canada. The province of Alberta, where I come from, has a bridging program deal that they've signed with the Philippines. So it's a province of Alberta and a Republic of the Philippines deal. And it's a bridging program for the Canadian system that starts in the Philippines. So a Filipino nurse can choose that they want to go to Canada. They start their bridging program. They finish it in the Philippines. They then come to Canada. And within 6 months of coming to Canada, they practice as a nurse in the Alberta healthcare system. We should be trying to even make that even shorter, because 6 months is even too long. We can't have people working survival jobs as PSWs or as nursing aides. I want them working as nurses, because if they leave their country of origin, let's say it's a doctor, they lose a doctor, and if we don't gain a doctor, that's a terrible waste of human capital, and we should be avoiding that as much as possible. And it starts with a real foreign credential recognition program with the Blue Seal for the medical professions, but we're going to expand it to every single other profession once we get it right with those two.
വീക്ക്ലി റൗണ്ടപ്പ് പവേർഡ് ബൈ PSG ഗ്രൂപ്പ് ഓഫ് കമ്പനീസിന്റെ ഈ സ്പെഷ്യൽ എപ്പിസോഡ് ഇവിടെ പൂർത്തിയാകുന്നു. നിങ്ങളുടെ അഭിപ്രായങ്ങളും നിർദ്ദേശങ്ങളും ദയവായി ഏഷ്യനെറ്റ് US വീക്ക്ലി റൗണ്ടപ്പ് എന്ന ഫേസ്ബുക്ക് പേജിലൂടെയോ ഏഷ്യനെറ്റ് USnews@gmail.com എന്ന ഇമെയിലിലൂടെയോ 7324299529 എന്ന വാട്സ്ആപ്പ് നമ്പറിലൂടെയോ ഞങ്ങളെ അറിയിക്കുക. മറ്റൊരു വൈവിധ്യമാർന്ന എപ്പിസോഡുമായി വീണ്ടും കാണാം അടുത്തയാഴ്ച. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
Face Law Firm, Chicago. Trusted name for work injuries and personal injury cases, wrongful death cases and much more. Ensuring aggressive financial results. Attorney Stephen Face. Serious lawyer for serious cases. We want a long-term relationship with you. Call us 312-855-0511. Face Law Firm Limited. www.crefacelaw.com.
Citywide Mortgage of America Corp. Mortgage experts serving Illinois, Florida, and California. Committed to provide high-quality home loans, lowest mortgage rates in the market. Specialized services for first-time home buyers. Conventional, FHA, VA loans, and jumbo loans. Refinance and cash-out refinance. Home loan experts dedicated to making sure your home purchase or refinance experience is top-notch. We deliver what we promise. Visit www.citywidema.com.